Morning. It is Friday the 20, no, the fuck am I talking about? It's Friday the 5th of June and just currently 13 weeks and 2 days out. Did I just flip the bird there? I don't even know why I did that. I'm losing the head already. I only just woke up, but a pretty big drop, 78.1 kilo. Which is good because got a food drop yesterday. Only a little bit, which I'll discuss later on, but that's going to be the good next push for next while, for next like week, 2 weeks to see the changes, because I'm at a stage now where in prep where like any sort of fat loss you can see visually, and like especially like the check-ins 2 times a week, you can definitely see stuff coming into play a lot more quicker. So looking forward to that a lot, and I'm just going to do my fasted cardio and steps, and then just start my day. Probably show a few of the meals, which should be the same fucking shit, you know yourself, but probably go through a pull day as well, because I've pulled today. It is, so stay tuned in. Also, I don't know what majority watches this is Irish or British or just Australian, but I actually finally got myself some access source to Perform and Train by JB supplements. So if you know those are like my favorite supplements to use for like whey, cream and rice and stuff. So finally got access, and a lot more fucking expensive though, holy shit, but I'll just do it once, because I know when I come back to Ireland, right, I'm probably gonna bring about, I'm not even messing, like 6 kilos of fucking supplements over back to Australia, because I'm not gonna bring much back with me to Ireland. I'm just gonna bring my carry-on, and like my big suitcase will have nothing in it, just like a few clothes, because obviously when I'm back in Ireland I'll have clothes at home anyway, and I don't even need stuff. I'm only there for 4 weeks, so I'll only bring like, I don't know, my essentials, a few clothes, which like a pair of shoes, and that's right now. It's winter now in Australia, and everybody thinks it's like, oh, it's still sunny every single day. It's actually relatively cold when I like go outside, and like again, it's a lot darker now up until like 7:15. So it's a bit annoying for check-ins, because I hate doing check-ins like inside indoors, because all the lighting is not good, and oh no, I just like that raw like outdoor setting doing check-ins, and it's either I have to wait until, or I have to like like my cardio first and then do my check-ins, which I don't really like, because I notice my legs are more like inflamed. But sure, look, yeah, here we go, 13 weeks, 2 days, because every day fucking counts at this stage of prep. There you go, it is brightened up, cardio done, and a bit of caffeine come into play now, and I can confidently say progressions is well and truly back, because from the other day when I did my leg session B, that was like make it or break it moment. Well, I say last week's one, but doing it 2 in a row, and it wasn't like a fluke, knowing that I feel a lot more better, I feel stronger, don't feel as fucked. I'm like, okay, we're back in lift progressions. So definitely a lot more lightened up in the last few weeks, just from the training, to be honest. It's mad how much training progressions means to me, and to keep the momentum going. And definitely the volume drop over the weeks has definitely helped me with my lifts, and even with like the pumps as well, and like the contractions and how I feel after the workouts, because I'm telling you, these pumps I've been getting recently, it's been nuts, especially after yesterday. Like my triceps were actually sore because how full I was after the session. And personally, I look like a different fucking person but like, I don't really like myself too pumped because I just look like I have like an extra like 5 kilo on me, and as well as it's good for like mass and size, but I feel like I lose so much definition. It's a good thing as well because I'm not flattening off, and you should not be flattening off this far out from show. And I'm glad I feel very, very full, because there's been times where I've been like similar to this body weight and I felt a bit flat. And exciting times now, because we're getting closer towards that 12-week mark. It's like the 10 to 12-week mark for me personally. That's when I know, like, okay, we're really fucking on this now. We're really, prep is really getting started. I said this for the first fucking video that we're definitely going to be pushing into prep now. I said that when I was 22 and a half weeks out. Now I'm 13. Why is it so easy? Of course, look at that. Meal number 1. We have now 60 grams of oats, 15 almond butter, 40 grams of whey, 150 grams of frozen raspberries with a bit of sweet cinnamon on top. Took my supplements, and I got big man Lee Haney podcast. In my opinion, best to ever do it. Okay, so prepped all my meals and tucked into my meal 2, which was 60 grams of rice, 75 green beans, 180 chicken with 100 grams of banana on the side. So those are the 2 carb sources. Actually, no, I have 3 meals where carbs have been dropped. So I went from 75 to 60 oats, 80 grams to 60 grams on the rice for my second meal, and then 300 grams to 200 grams on the potatoes for my 4th meal. So those are all the carbs dropped, calories dropped for my whole food drop. And that's what all you should do. If you're cutting food down, you shouldn't be cutting your protein sources. You shouldn't be cutting your fat sources and your fruit sources, etc. They're the ones that should stay the exact same, because your fruits, your proteins are the ones that are going to keep you the most satiated and more full. Like, there's been times where I've had clients where the carb sources have been pretty low with some of the meals, but I would never drop fucking chicken breast or drop fruit like apples, bananas, berries. If anything, I'd actually add more fruit, so I'll be able to drop the carbs. So, I mean by carbs, I mean like actual carb sources like potatoes, pasta, rice. So that's the only drop really. So it's 2,520 approximately for training days, and 2,430 on rest days. So little drop, still a decent amount of food. From my perspective, it is still eating 5 meals, nutritious, satiating meals, and exciting to see the next changes for the next week or 2. A little tip I say to people when they're dieting is, like, when you wake up, between like when you wake up and your first meal, that's when you get able to like hold it the most and be like the least hungry. But you're like almost the most hungry almost after that first meal, because that's like when, you know, like floodgates are opened nearly. But if you just between the first and second meal try be either the most busy as you can be, and also get about 50% of your water intake between that first and second meal, because potentially, since you're only a few hours after waking up, your body might be still a bit more dehydrated from your sleep more than anything. So either make sure, number one, you're well hydrated, and also just keep yourself busy because for me personally, and from others who I've spoken to, it's always that first, second meal part of the day is when I'm the most hungry, and that's when they kind of like have their second meal a bit too soon, and then patterns happen for the third and fourth meal, etc. So I always like to have a big gap between my first and second meal. Okay, we are back. Finished my session and a bit of PT. Didn't actually film anything. It was just one of those sessions where I just did nothing. I just trained and didn't film anything, not even for my coach, not even for, just was like full, like locked in, no talking, nothing. It was just one of those sessions, and not because I'm in a shit mood or anything, or like feel down or low. It's just one of those days, you know. We just want, because since for me personally, I've always like was filming something or chatting away to people or something, but like it's just one of those days we just want to just relax a bit, just train. And I feel like I was naked almost, because I wasn't like walking around with a tripod in my fucking hand, or like lost different equipment on me. Like I didn't bring my gym bag with me. Sometimes I just bring it around with me to the gym, which is, I know it's pet peeve for a lot of people, but like, fuck it. Because every time I do it, I always forget something, and I cannot be arsed just keep walking over to the locker rooms and getting stuff one by one. Well, I want to pick up on about my evening schedule, and that's something I want to fix, because I've actually started using socials again now, and a bit more relaxed with like what to do with them, and still having less screen time, which is good, but I don't want to go back into the habit of using it more in the evening. So kind of taking more time to read again, do a bit of reading around 6, 7 p.m. just to kind of wind my brain down a bit, and makes me sleep a bit better, because I'm not using so much of my attention on like shit or like reels or whatever fucking content. Like if I want to watch like podcasts or content, I probably just do it in the morning now. I'm too invested in watching videos, and it just kind of keeps me up a bit. So that's just a little 1% little thing try to focus on that might help a bit of my sleep, because definitely with recovery at the moment, where training's still feeling really good, but since I'm 14 odd weeks into a deficit now, my body just kind of wants more sleep, want a bit more rest. And something that you kind of notice when you diet, that your body is smart. It wants to hold a bit of energy, and you won't even realize it. Like obviously it's not gonna happen now, but when you like get like really deep into a deficit, right, you end up like, you might even notice you're sitting down longer, or you're kind of slouching on the couch like this more, instead of like keeping yourself straight, or you're not walking around the gym more when you're doing a session. You're kind of sitting down between your sets, and you're kind of walking slow as well when you do your steps. Little small things like that. It's just your body trying to reserve a bit more energy. And if you just if you kind of like become aware of that, and try utilize the same type of movement when you were at the start of your prep, or your cut, whatever, it will kind of help things a bit more easier with your deficit, when you kind of like burn more your total expenditure. And here, look, I'm gonna be completely honest, it's not the be all end all. Like if you're doing your cardio and you're in a deficit, you're still gonna lose fucking weight anyway regardless. But it's just it's kind of those things where when you plateau, that could be a thing that is the reason why you're not losing as much weight than you want. So just keep a little eye with that when you're in a deficit, and see if there's something just look out for, just for, I don't know, for the crack. But I don't even know why the fuck I even filmed this. I'm just trying to film more stuff throughout the day, but it's just the same stuff, and that is just how it is, you know. And that's the thing with bodybuilding. That's the thing with this whole type of thing with physique development, especially on prep. There's consistency, and then there's like having that as your temporary lifestyle. You know, people always say, "Oh, I'm super consistent. I'm locked in and do it for a phase for like 4 to 6 weeks," right? But for bodybuilding like this, you're doing this Monday to Sunday for weeks and weeks and months, and there's no stopping. There's no take a day off on the Friday or have a cheeky little night on the Saturday and just unwind a bit. Like, no, like, it's constant fucking relentless consistency. And that's what, like, as I said before, that's what I feel like it hits with people. It's not the process itself, not the process, like the tasks you have to do itself. It's literally just knowing that that is your norm for the next long time. So that's kind of the main thing where people lose with their adherence. And for me, I just know, way back before I started, that I had to accept that I'm willing to take 8-9 months of my life basically for this one thing. And it sounds fucking nuts saying that, but for me that's just how I had to approach it, and I'm fine with that because I enjoy that process of it. So that's why I have to ramble. You probably see a few clips of me training while me talking shite, just trying to get the video linked up. I don't know, help you with your cardio, me rambling on. So you just, instead of just, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this one, just me rambling. So I don't know, so you can listen to your cardio. I don't know, it's probably just me rambling. So when you're doing your cardio, you just hear me talking shite for 25 minutes straight. Pass the time, but it's going to unwind. I actually have a client plan I have to set up because he is on his diet break and he lives in your complete other side of the planet, so he'll be waking up soon, so I might get on that now. And then okay, so just finished up my last meal 5. 100 raspberries, dark chocolate, 250 Greek yogurt, and 15 whey. And it just looks tragic, but I've been eating that meal every day for my train days for the last while, but now I'm eating that every single day for the last meal because I'm not having cream of rice anymore. Upsetting, but there was times when I was like peak bulk having 125 grams of cream of rice with that. You just miss it. Like, it's mad because when I was in like off-season improvement phases, I was like so eager to like diet, and then when you diet, it's just vice versa, and that's just how it is. That's just how it's always going to be. But just finished up this client's new plan. He just finished up his 13-week stint of dieting. He did a 1 week, 5 day, diet break, and now he's going to have a second diet break for over 10ish days. I'm going to see how it is because it's his birthday. He has a few events going on and he's on a holiday, so it was literally like perfect timing. And we wanted to kind of reach a certain weight goal, and he got it, and we were exactly where we need to be. So well and deserved diet break. Good amount of food added because he was in quite a deficit. You know, he's very adherent. He's very adherent to his goals and to his plan. Doesn't fucking miss. He sends me his meals, which I fucking love when clients send that. So yeah, quite late me doing this. I don't usually do it, but I want to send it over him a bit earlier than usual. And see you next clip. Okay, we are now comfortable and gonna watch a bit of Netflix or Prime. I don't know, which one. But I actually want to talk about something, okay, over my well-being and how I've been feeling the last week or so, and how I've kind of changed mindset and perspective of things over the last while, because that's the main thing I've been trying to be focusing on the most, is like reflecting, because obviously the last few weeks, weeks ago, where I was explaining on these videos how I've been feeling, and with like the pressure on myself and stuff like that, but I've kind of, I wouldn't say I've resolved it fully, because technically this thing isn't resolved, but my mindset has changed and has made me a lot more stress-free, and it's definitely given me more of a positive-minded prep in total, and also how it's just eased the pressure a lot. That's just simply way of putting it, and it's basically right. I'm actually gonna try to keep this simple. So, as I said, I've been like over the last while, I've been like carrying too much eggs in my basket, and I kind of have to accept. I accepted that from now up until like September post show phase, this is going to be my main driver of focus from now until then, and just from where I'm at and the current state I'm in general, that's all what I have to focus on, and nothing else currently matters much. And it sounds fucking mad saying that, but that's just what I have to do for me to not lose the head, or just crash out all the time, or just overthink and be stressed and having a million different thoughts in my mind. So it makes me more content, because after the show, after September, I can now focus purely on building myself up, focusing on my work, focusing on my PT, online business, all that stuff, right? And even just kind of being more driven on like building my wealth, my income, being a bit more comfortable with myself, you know what I mean? And not having something else in the back of my mind, because right now it's vice versa. I'm so driven on this at the moment, where I'm having all these thoughts of I need to do more, and I just can't do it. It's just not part of my expertise at the moment. And I think it's just me currently, it's just me comparing a lot with my chapter 1 to people's chapters 20s, and with people who've been in this game for a long time. And it's like I have to have this one focus to make it successful, and then do another focus to make that successful as well. And then over time, I can kind of do both. And I know as well that I will, because this is my passion. I'm passionate with this, right? I'm gonna be honest. I'm passionate with bodybuilding, and I love the routine of it, and I definitely see myself doing this for a long time. If I'm passionate with it, I can accept that I might take the foot off the pedal a little bit once I'm done this prep. Obviously, to like someone else's perspective, I look like someone who's operating at a good standard and being on top of like the nutrition and training and stuff like that, and wanting to grow and build muscle, but won't be as driven and on my mind as much. Because even when before I started prep, doing like my first 2 improvement phases and like my mini cuts and everything around that was from that one goal, and that one goal was to compete, step on stage. And now since that will be gone, I won't be like having those post-show blues where I feel lost, I feel struggle. Like, no, I'm now able to now focus on myself, build myself up, be a lot more comfortable, and be a better person, and have and be held straight more on my own, you know? And then once I'm able to do like my second ever prep or something like that, right, I'll be a lot more comfortable, I'll be a lot more less stressed, I'll be a bit more stable with myself, I'll be in a lot more better position, and hopefully, not hopefully, it will, my business and my wealth and everything will be a lot more higher and improved. And I know that that's another thing I want to focus on, because obviously, like, I'm 20 years old, I need to build myself up as a person, as a man, because that's just what you have to do. And obviously, moving to Australia, I want to make that worth it, you know? I don't want to just move here and knowing that, oh, I only came to Australia to do a bodybuilding prep and then potentially going home. Like, no, I want to make the most out of it, you know? So fully optimizing my opportunity to come to Australia to its maximum once I'm done prep is a big goal of mine, and I'm more than happy to do it, because now my prep, my bodybuilding, everything will be gone. Not gone, but like it'll be not as on my mind, because the whole routine side of things is like autopilot for me, but the whole like tunnel vision of competing and reaching my potential won't be as hard going as it will be for the next while afterwards. Because as I said, when I get more comfortable, when I build myself up and be in a lot more better position, I'll be able to do that again. And that just makes it exciting. And it's all temporary, you know. I'm worrying about stuff that will happen if I just be patient with it. And life's so short, but the process takes so long as well. And you can't just think everything will happen all at once or overnight. And you can't just do everything at once first. And that's fine. And that's fine. And to others that might sound odd, like why the fuck are you willing to sacrifice so much months of your year just to do one thing, to step on stage and everything? But like with people's passions, you know, that's what passion does to people. And I'm still in a very fortunate position to be able to do this while being able to move country and do whatever and focus on other things and build myself self-employment all from scratch. So I'm still very fortunate regardless. So now I know that once everything's done, everything's wrapped up, I've other goals to focus on, and I'll be just straight on it no matter what. And not just focusing all at once, like right now. So that's definitely kept the edge off 100%, and it's just a big weight off my shoulders, and it just makes this whole prep a lot more manageable and enjoyable, because I'm not having a million fucking thoughts in my head. And, you know, I've had great conversations with my coach about this all, and really appreciate having to talk to him about it, and especially close people around me as well. Face-to-face chats as well with people about this all who's been in similar situations and who have the experience to kind of guide me in the right direction. So I'm still very grateful I'm able to have people to talk about this, and it's all going to work out in the end, and I know it will. And I just need to be patient, and I just need to focus on one thing at a time and then move on to the other thing. So at the end of the day, I'll still be 20 years old when I'm finished prep. That's still like fucking hell. It's like the perspective of like, holy shit, I'm still just developing, you know. I still have so much things ahead of me I need to do. I can do, not need to do, like that I can do. And there's no fucking rush. There's no rush at all. So once I kind of be in my own box bubble temporarily till September, then move on, then for me, that's a win. I'm able to do other things after. So here, look, I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone kind of relates to that. If anyone is arse watching this fucking video, hopefully this segments of me talking shit is like useful for like people doing cardio or people walking around listening. But this is just me being as raw, as authentic as I can, and I'm not gonna bullshit anyone. And it's just like a video diary I like to put out. So when I look back, once I'm done this prep and seeing how everything's progressed, I can see how my mindset has been changed as well, because it's a lot of learning curves. But that's all she wrote. I'm actually quite tired already, so I'll probably spend the next 45 minutes watching a bit of Prime or something, and then hit the hay, because man just can't go to sleep. Not go to sleep, man just can't stay up past fucking 9:30, 10 o'clock on weekends. So see you next video.